Have you maybe noticed that you think you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, but you still having a morning erection? In this video, we will examine most natural way to boost your sexual life and help reduce or eliminate symptoms by making simple nutrition and lifestyle choices. First, you should know that erectile dysfunction is not always a disease that you should mandatorily be concerned about, nor is it something that should really scare you. Erectile dysfunction can be our body's short-term reaction to some physical or psychological changes. It can also be a result of a period or phase you are going through or some changes in your life. Of course, it can also represent a more serious and long-term problem. Whatever the case may be, the good news is that erectile dysfunction can be mitigated or completely eliminated in many cases. An appropriate approach is needed. In this video, we will discuss an approach mitigating erectile dysfunction based on a healthy nutrition, but we will also focus on very concrete steps which will help you live a healthier life, both in terms of sexuality and in terms of a life in general. First, we have to understand the mechanism of erection. One of the most important molecules involved in erectile dysfunction is nitric oxide. Most of the erectile dysfunction remedy approaches use the nitric oxide pathway. So, why is this important? What is the function of nitric oxide in male body? Well, nitric oxide relaxes the smooth muscle of our blood vessels, which helps to improve blood flow. It is not only beneficial for erectile dysfunction, but it is also helpful for heart and overall body function. Nitric oxide also boosts testosterone production and is involved in the regulation of the amount of testosterone your body produces. Testosterone plays an important role for a healthy erection. Nitric oxide is also important because it regulates the level of cortisol hormone production. But nitric oxide also helps to improve good night sleep and helps regulate good patterns of sleep cycles. One of the common underlying causes of erectile dysfunction is stress. Generally speaking, there are two systems working together in the body. One is the sympathetic system, and the other one is the parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system is primary function of our fight-to-fight response. It controls, for example, heart rate, respiratory system, and pupil response. Parasympathetic system primarily regulates visceral organs. The nerves of this system help in resting, digesting, and reducing heartbeat. For a healthy erection, you need activation of your parasympathetic system. But the problem is, when you are stressed out, your sympathetic system primarily dominates. In the beginning, we mentioned morning erection. In the morning, when you are asleep, the stress hormone level is low, and your parasympathetic system is dominant. So, if you are suffering from erectile dysfunction but you have a normal morning erection, then the root of your problem could most probably be stress. If you find a way to manage the levels of stress in your body, the problem of erection should automatically reduce or even disappear. Which population groups are particularly at risk of erectile dysfunction? Diabetic patients are more prone to erectile dysfunction because of the destruction of endothelial cells present inside your blood vessels. These endothelial cells are the main source of nitric oxide in your body. On the other hand, nitric oxide increases insulin sensitivity, which is essential to control diabetes. Also, people with higher levels of cholesterol often take lipid-lowering drugs, like statins and fibrates, which can also cause erectile dysfunction. Again, nitric oxide is the main key here. If we can increase nitric oxide levels in the body, it will significantly solve the erection-related problem. Unfortunately, it's normal that nitric oxide reduces by 50% after your 40s. So, is there any way to boost nitric oxide levels in our body? The answer is yes. The fastest way is through the nutritional supplement mentioned in the description, but in this video we will focus on the most natural way. Let's examine how to increase nitric oxide in our body. It's important to understand correlation between sleep apnea and erectile dysfunction. A sleeping problem, like sleep apnea, increases your risk of erectile dysfunction. So, the first thing you should do is practice nasal breathing. When we breathe through our nose, This nitric oxide reaches the lungs and circulates all over the body. There are numerous breathing exercises that can be practiced, but the most important thing is to regularly breathe deeply through your nose. Now, the next thing you should do is regular exercise. There are several benefits of regular exercise. It helps to reduce our stress. It significantly reduces cortisol, which is very important to treat erectile dysfunction. It also improves your vascular system, endothelial cells, and increase nitric oxide secretion. According to one Harvard study, just 30 minutes of walking a day was linked with a 41% drop in risk for ED. So, regular physical activity is the key for a healthy erection. Now, let's discuss some foods high in nitrates. Spinach is not just a great addition to salads, but it is also a great source of natural dietary nitrates. A 100-gram serving of fresh spinach contains anywhere from 24 to 387 millimoles of nitrates. Out of the cabbage family, bok choy is highest in nitrates. Bok choy can contain anywhere from 103 to 309 millimoles of nitrates per 100 grams. Next is lettuce. While lettuce isn't always known for being rich in nutrients, it contains 13 to 267 millimoles of nitrates per 100-gram serving. Then there are beets. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body can convert to nitric oxide. According to one study, in 38 adults, consuming a beetroot juice supplement increased nitric oxide levels by 21% just after 45 minutes. Next are carrots. Carrots are really unavoidable to mention because it contains anywhere from 92 to 195 millimoles of nitrates per 100 grams. Now, the other foods that you can consider are garlic, meat, dark chocolate, citrus fruits, pomegranate, nuts, seeds, and watermelon. Here's another fact to remember. Size matters, so get slim and stay slim. A trim waistline is one good defense. A man with a 42-inch waist is 50% more likely to have ED than one with a 32-inch waist. Losing weight can help fight erectile dysfunction, so getting to a healthy weight and staying there is another good strategy for avoiding or fixing ED. Obesity raises risks for vascular disease and diabetes, two major causes of ED. Move a muscle, but we're not talking about your biceps. A strong pelvic floor enhances rigidity during erections and helps keep blood. In a British trial, 3 months of twice-daily sets of Kegel exercises, which strengthen these muscles, significantly helped men suffering from erectile dysfunction. What to avoid? Incorporating these laudable goals can be valuable, but there are lifestyle habits that, on the other hand, which can significantly reduce or even completely nullify the beneficial effects of these remedies. Let's examine few. It is important to avoid as much as possible sugar, alcohol, and stress. Sugar increases the chances of having atherosclerotic plaque and can damage the endothelial lining of our blood vessels. So, the more the damage to the endothelial lining, the less the amount of nitric oxide in our body. Alcohol also reduces the level of nitric oxide in our body. Earlier, we discussed the stress and how it affects our body. Now, the next thing you should improve is your sleep. Good sleep can reduce stress and improve erection. Also, one important point you should remember is that regular intake of many different drugs can cause temporary erection problems. So, talk to your doctor if you are taking any medicine and are experiencing any recent changes in your erection. Certainly, the natural approach is always the best, but it may take time to get the visible results. For those who have serious problems or want the fastest possible results, there are nutritional supplements. In collaboration with our respected experts, such as nutritionists and sexologists, but also taking into account extensive feedback from people who sought help as well as scientific studies, we invite you to revise a product that has helped many men who suffered from erectile dysfunction, but now they live an fulfilling sex life. For more information, click on the link in the video description. So, start making these important nutritious and lifestyle choices today and experience the benefits of boosted levels of your libido and elevate your sex life to a new dimension.